Hello, my wonderful subscribers and viewers. How are you? I thank God that I meet you all well. The topic today is a very interesting one from BBC News Africa about the late TB Joshua. The he was the he was the overseer or the pastor of synagogue Church of All Nations, Scoan, Scoan. In the news, they brought out three documentaries. The BBC released three documentaries on the 8th of January, and you can see the horrors, the people that were interviewed, the horrors that took place in that so-called church, and it was brutal. The BBC, you know, calls calls it a cult, the cult of TB Joshua. TB, it was when he started. Uh, it was all over the news. Miracles are happening there. Everybody running there. They are sick. They will go there, and all that until one or two of their um, disciples decided to leave, especially one lady called Bisola. She was the one that she left with another man. They tried to tell the government what was going on in that place, but nothing happened. In fact, every all the other members of the church, they were writing things, commenting against uh, Bisola, that she wanted fame. Nothing like that is happening there and all that. But after the death of TB Joshua, now we can see the disciples. He has a lot of members. Even now, it is the wife now that is now the head of the church. So a lot of members, and but when he was alive, he was staging miracles according to BBC, and it wasn't fun. You can go there to watch the videos yourself. It's in three parts: part one, part two, part three. The members, the from the members, he chose disciples, and it is these disciples that really suffered. They really suffered, and they came up with their horrors. Eh, all of A lot of the members were all from different countries. He, a lot of the members coming from different countries, that there is a man of God that can do miracles, and they were all pouring in from different countries, and he was, you know, deceiving them with the miracles. He was staging miracles. That's what we heard later. That's what they wrote later, that he was staging all those miracles. But, and then of course, he was sexually abusing the disciples that he chose. And the disciples he chose were young girls, virgins. This Bisola said she was among the first that were chosen as disciples, and she was sexually abused by this man. And of course, the other younger ones, the British, the British ladies, some of them, you have the testimony, but they were so afraid to talk out when he was still alive. So I think now is because he's no longer alive now, and they have been able to rescue themselves from there when he died, that they are now speaking up. Let me read some of what some of what some of them wrote, like Eneka. This is a this is Bisola. Bisola was said she was abused so many times, and then she said that it's written that TB Joshua asked me to recruit virgin for him so that he could bring them into the disciple fold and disvirgin them. She says she participated because of both indoctrinable and threats of violence. She says, adding, she herself was repeatedly raped by Joshua. A number of women say they were under the age of legal consent, which is 18 years in Lagos State, when they were sexually assaulted and raped. This offense can lead to death penalty in Nigeria. But nothing happened, because when this lady came out, she went all over. She was in the news telling them what was happening in the synagogue, and that they said she was going to die. Even when, if she leaves, that is the threat they give to them. If you leave, you are going to die. But she was able to brave up to leave. The other girls could not leave. And that in the synagogue, the way it's being built, the way the building is, that there were armed people, armed policemen at the gate. So you cannot leave. And every night, every day, TB Joshua was sexually abusing them, raped them. And one of the girls, like this girl called Jessica Kaimo, says she was repeatedly raped by TB Joshua. I was screaming and he was whispering in my ear that I should stop acting like a baby. I was so traumatized. I couldn't cry, she says. Jessica says this encounter was repeated again and again throughout the 5 years she spent as a disciple. Her account mirrors that of other women who spoke to the BBC, and also of accounts by 4 of Joshua's male personal servants who were given the job of clearing up the physical evidence of this abuse. So, the male disciples were asked to, they were the ones that clear up the mess of the interviews. They were like servants, and they were beaten, and that they were not allowed to sleep. They had minimal hours of sleep. The so-called disciples, these young girls, and um, some male disciples, they were the ones working day and night. Everybody telling them what to do, what not to do, hypnotize. I will not say, I don't even know what to call it, but they were so scared. Like this Ray, her name is Ray. She was a gay in England. So when she heard of miracles, she knew she used to go to church, and she did not want to be a gay, so she came to synagogue. Ray says for her, it is the psychological torture that has left the deepest scars. She says Joshua subjected her to a form of punishment known as adob for 2 years, during which she was forbidden from leaving the compound, and nobody inside was allowed to talk to her. I was basically in total isolation. I had a complete breakdown. She says, I tried to commit suicide 5 times. In being pushed to the brink, something cracked in Ray's mind. 12 years of indoctrinable began to unravel. He made a huge mistake. He lost control of me, she says. You can imagine this girl, Ray, stayed 12 years. Bisola stayed 14 years. And it was trauma for them. Can you imagine a girl of about 17, 18 coming down to Nigeria from Britain? She thought she could be healed of being a gay. She didn't want to be a gay. I'm sure when she got here, it was, but she was chosen as a disciple, and that is how they. This is the building. This is the building of the synagogue. It's like a prison yard. They said it was T.B. Joshua that designed it by himself. In that same place, they have a place where abortions were taking place. They have doctors or nurses that were taking place. Some of them said that there were pieces of things, metal was put in them, and then the baby extracted out of them. So they didn't even know whether it was their womb they were extracting out of them. That was how bad it was. And they couldn't do anything. They were just stuck there. You can imagine. They were just stuck there, being raped every time. They could not tell anybody. In fact, they were not allowed to, their families, they were not allowed to talk to anybody. Their phones were taken, their passports were taken from them, the foreigners. And then even their phones were taken from them. They told them that it is the family, that the synagogue members are there now, is now their new family, and they should not talk to anybody. So these people need help, and I pray that help will come to them. They need therapy. They need to go for real therapy, clinical therapy, so that they can be okay. Because this is, the disciples say they were made to work without pay for long hours each day, running all aspects of the mega church. All say sleep, they were all sleep deprived, and with lights left on in the dormitories at night. Aneka said that 4 of the British citizens who spoke to the BBC said they reported the abuse to the UK authorities after escaping from the church. They said no further action was taken. In addition, a British man and his wife emailed eyewitness accounts of their ordeal and video evidence, including recordings of being held at gunpoint by men describing themselves as police who are also members of Scoan, to the British High Commission in Nigeria in March 2010 after fleeing the church. In his email, the man said his wife has been repeatedly sexually assaulted and raped by Joshua. He warned the commission that other British nationals were still inside the compound facing atrocities, and nothing was done about it. That is the sad part of it. So please comment, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and put on your notification bell for further videos. God bless you. And I don't know if this is mercy after death, because I don't know what is going to be done, because the man is no longer alive, he's dead. And maybe that was even why God took him. Who knows? so that the people will be free. So, bye bye. Thank you.